If you want to die, that's your choice. I don't believe seatbelts should be required by law. You see, I may come kind of strong, but please hear me out. See, I've been in two car wrecks in my lifetime, and neither of which was I wearing a seatbelt. Now, the first car wreck wasn't very serious. It was a minor little fender bender. The second, though, I was the passenger of a '93 Sierra single cab, and my friend, late one Saturday night, drove off a levee into Lake Darbo. Well, I was fortunate enough that I was able to escape the vehicle by breaking the window using a pocket knife that was in the center console. Otherwise, I don't. If I was wearing a seatbelt, I don't know that I could have escaped, and I could have been like one of many victims that die while wearing their seatbelt in an automobile accident every year. Seatbelts should not be required by law because they also take lives. Penalties are too severe for a violation, and I just think there are other companies that should mandate seatbelt law or incentives, personally. And there are many benefits for abolishing this law. Let us begin our examination of this issue by first looking at some statistics as a result of seatbelt laws. See, seatbelts kill thousands of people each year, according to an article from PolitiFact.com. In Rhode Island during the year 2012, 30,000 citizens lost their lives while wearing seatbelts in accidents. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau website, the population of Rhode Island in 2012 was 900,000. So roughly 3% of the population died while wearing a seatbelt during an automobile accident. Now, I'm not saying wearing a seatbelt will save your life or kill you, but I believe it should be a choice. Fatal automobile accidents that are attributed to the use of a seatbelt always have the same storyline. If only they had a couple more seconds, if they only could have got the seatbelt first. Whether it be a fire-filled vehicle or a water-filled vehicle, it's a tragic situation all around. Innocent lives are lost because they are required by law to wear a seatbelt. Speaking of law, according to the Rhode Island State Police website, the fines are pretty steep, requiring you to wear a seatbelt. They are $40 for the first offense, and they double each time after. And not until 5 years without a violation is the slate wiped clean. So those fines can get pretty hefty for something that I believe is a personal choice. In a country that prides itself on the freedom of its citizens, why would it require a device to be worn that's proven to take many lives? I have a solution to this problem. It's simple. Don't require seatbelt to be worn. Require. Now, I'm not saying they save lives. I'm not saying they take lives, but I think it's a choice, and I think you should leave it up to the individual to make that decision. Seatbelts do save lives, but you shouldn't fine a citizen for making the choice to not wear a seatbelt. I think Darwinism is something this country could use a little more of because if you're dumb enough to ride a motorcycle without a helmet, dumb enough to go 100 miles an hour not wearing a seatbelt, well, then I think you're just making that choice, and I think we should allow people to make that choice. Instead of the law requiring somebody to wear a seatbelt, I believe insurance companies should be the ones that dictate this, as we'll say. Insurance companies can offer an incentive for wearing your seatbelt. Sort of the way they use the little plug-in that goes under your dash to see how fast you're going. Or if you ran a stop sign, they have deductions for stuff like that. They should be the one because they have the most at stake really here financially. And also, rather than requiring the citizen to wear it, we're not giving them a choice. It's a bit of a reward to lean in that direction. Remember, the point of my argument is that we should not require seatbelts to be worn. Because they do, in fact, kill people, but they do save people as well. You should let that be a personal choice. An insurance company has plenty of reason to want you to wear a seatbelt, so they should be the one that offers that incentive to force you in a way to wear it. Now that we are aware of the problem, we can embrace the solution and visualize the benefits for our issue. The first benefit that comes to mind when thinking of not requiring citizens to wear a seatbelt Okay, the first benefit that comes to mind is that we'll feel less oppressed by the government, because in today's age where everybody's anti-government, it's us against the world mentality, you know, something that literally has no bearing on any other individual should be left up to the individual to make that choice. And another rather obvious benefit, I think, is that lives will not be lost because they were forced to wear a seatbelt. You know, nobody's going to blame the law anymore. And my final point is that the Click It or Ticket campaign, that in Nebraska, according to an article by Bloomberg.com, in the year 2013, Nebraska State Police raked in $750,000 of revenue for their Click It or Ticket campaign. That money should stay in taxpaying citizens' pockets rather than going to the government for who knows what. In conclusion, seatbelts should not be required by law because they do also take lives and cost too much for a violation. There are other companies that should mandate the incentives or penalties, and there are many benefits of abolishing this law. A country that's known for its freedom, why must we continue to suppress our citizens? An issue that offers no consequences for any other individual. Thank you.